Let's revive this vintage Hard Candy Grinch nail polish from the 1996 holiday collection. This dried out glitter will get a slightly different treatment than the usual revivals we do here. In the past I revived a Grinch with thinner alone, but afterwards the glitter sank straight to the bottom, so we know the suspension base did not survive drying out completely. This doesn't affect the usability of the polish, but it's just not as pretty in the bottle, and it needs to be shaken vigorously to use it. This Grinch is also faded from being exposed to light as a store display bottle, so I don't really care that it's not perfect. This unfaded bottle, though, will get the royal treatment this time around. To get this started, I'll use a few droppers of Szechuan Store thinner just to hydrate the dried glitter so it's no longer rock hard. For the next few hours, I'll turn the bottle every hour or so to make sure all of the glitter gets exposed to the thinner. It's now a bit later and the glitter is molasses-like, but it's exactly how I want it. I bought this TKB suspension base to replace the original finicky base. On TKB's website, they call this the Glamour base. And with a dropper tool, I'm just going to start filling the bottle. I know some like to just go in with fresh suspension base off the bat with dried glitters, but I recommend using thinner first since suspension base won't always fail. I have glitter polishes from decades earlier that have revived just fine with thinner alone. If you find it separating drastically like my other Grinch, don't pour off the thinner, leave the cap off, and let it evaporate. When it evaporates maybe halfway, then add suspension base. If you're impatient and pour off the thinner, you're going to pour off not just what you added, but other essential ingredients. So at some point in the future, I'll probably fix the other Grinch. Now that the fresh base has been added, let's give it a good mix. It's a little thicker than I prefer, so I'm going to add a little more thinner. It should still be thick enough to hold up the glitter after I thin it though. Now we'll throw it on the vortex just to mix the thinner into that base. It looks really great, so let's let it sit for a few hours to see if any separation occurs. It's been maybe 4 hours and it looks great. The fresh base was a success. We'll give it one more quick mix and then we can swatch it. Now when I use the faded one, I always use Essie's But First Candy as a base, but since the non-faded one is cooler toned, we'll use a mix of that with Ooh La Lolly. So we'll go in first with a layer of Ooh La Lolly, a blue jelly. This will help cool down our green base. I really wish Essie had made this collection permanent. And now But First Candy. I really like using jellies as bases for glitter since it helps us have sharp, clean edges and our glitter won't look patchy without taking the limelight away from the glitter. And now it's time for the star, Grinch. And yeah, that base color was the perfect match. And now we'll do one last coat of Grinch. This is just a perfect holiday green glitter. And now let's add the top coat. I really didn't like Seche Vite top coat, so I'm giving the Seche Vive a try. I'm still forming my opinion though. I'm really obsessed with how sparkly this glitter is. I have a holiday party to go to tomorrow night, so I'm stoked for this polish. Let me know your thoughts on this beauty and the process in general if you please. I'd love to know if you've had that separation issue while reviving your glitters. And also, if you know of a good dupe for this, let us know in the comments.